Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, it's been a couple days. Your boy BT has been feeling a little bit down. You could even say I've been a little bit depressed because quarantine, the coronavirus has everybody kind of up and down at the moment. So you got to stay busy, otherwise you will fall into a kind of depressing mood. I don't want that to be the case. So we're just gonna make shit tons of videos and keep you guys entertained because at the end of the day, that's one of the things in life that makes me truly the happiest. So, let's get to it. Your main man, Gallo Estrada. Gallo Estrada. He's been hearing a lot of chatter. He's been hearing a lot of hype. He's been hearing a lot of things about this Julio Cesar Martinez kid, and he's not having it. He's not having it. All right, and he's saying this. He hears all this talk about Martinez wanting to move up and fight him, and he's pretty much letting him know before he even gets to 115 that listen, if you come mess with Gallo, it ain't going to end well for you. So let's get into what he said. Here's what Gallo Estrada had to say in regards to a potential fight with Julio Cesar Martinez. He said, I quote, "The truth is that Martinez is a good fighter. There are speculation that they wanted to face me. I don't know if it's true. I have seen him fight, and I think he would not beat me because he takes too much punishment. And with a good boxing fighter like me, I think he will not have a chance at the moment. But when he moves up from the flyweight division, he has to be very careful because he has to have more waist mobility, more so at a higher weight in order to avoid receiving too much punishment. But he is a great fighter, and he is one of the Mexican champions at the moment. When I am up in the ring against any fighter, I study him for the first 2 rounds. In the third or the fourth round, I begin to put my plan in place. I have to be a smart boxer. I am Mexican. I like war and trading punches. When I get hit, I say, wow, now I'm going to give you many more in return, but intelligently. There are many fighters who say Mexican style, but which one? When people think Mexican style, they think about going to war, blood, trading punches. And the truth is, when you go up to the ring, you have to be smarter because you risk your life when you get in there. All right, so there's your boy, Gallo Estrada. He is... I actually like these quotes from Gallo Estrada because he don't speak any English, so we get a bit of insight into his boxing IQ and just how he thinks about the sport and how he looks at the sport. So I like reading things when the Hispanic fighters who don't really speak English may have quotes, because you get a chance sometimes, if they're honest and if they can articulate themselves in a certain way, you get a chance to see how they think about the sport, how they approach the sport. And I like what he said about which Mexican style, because Mexican style isn't just rock 'em sock 'em robots. There's intelligent ways to be a Mexican warrior, and I'm glad that he brought that out because that doesn't get brought up enough. I agree with him. I agree with him. I think Martinez is a good fighter. I think Martinez is definitely going to be somebody to be reckoned with in the years to come. But I think Xanafer Promotions, Eddie Hearn, Eddie Reynoso, and all parties involved should really take the time before pushing him into a big fight, because I really believe if he was to fight a Gallo Estrada or Chocolatito Gonzalez in the next year or so, it would really derail a lot of his career plans, and it would really put him on a bad track, because I just don't think that he's developed enough as a fighter to be ready for a fight of that magnitude, going up to a bigger weight class, fighting bigger guys, fighting more skilled guys. I think the best route he can go right now for himself as the WBC flyweight champion is to attempt to unify the division, whether it's against Mathane, who is the IBF champion, or if it's against Kosi Tanaka, who has his own plans of moving up to 115. There's been a lot of rumors about Kosi Tanaka moving up to 115 to fight Kazuto Ioka in a big all-Japanese unification fight, which I think would be amazing. But if he could somehow secure that fight and try to unify with him at flyweight before he moves up to a super flyweight, I think that'd be a good move for Martinez. He does get hit too much. When we look at Martinez, he's somebody who very much, he needs you to be in front of him. He needs you to fight with him so that he's able to plant his feet and fight you back. He throws really good combinations. But if you're on the move, like a guy like Estrada, I don't think he really has it in his locker, or he has it within his skill set as of yet to be able to cut off the ring or to dissect a fighter like a guy like Estrada. And this is the guy like Estrada who's in his prime. This is a guy like Estrada that's fought prime Chocolatito Gonzalez, has fought Ron Versailles twice, has fought the Brian Valorias, has fought the Giovanni Seguras, I believe. So he's fought a whole host of fighters and come out victorious, and he's such an experienced fighter. So I just can't see Martinez beating him. Now, if before Martinez even moves up to 115, and if he can't get a unification fight with any of the other champions at 112, I think he needs to go the Jay Harris route, because Jay Harris gave him a good fight, and I think he did enough to warrant a rematch, and I think he would give Martinez some big problems in the rematch that they fought because Harris really began to figure him out in the last 4 rounds. So he gets hit too much. I just think Gallo Estrada, being the smart fighter that he is, would be able to keep him, on the outside, counterpunch him, use the angles. He's reached that level in his career where he knows how to box, he knows how to fight, he knows how to bang, he knows how to slug, and he knows, as a great country singer would say, Willie Nelson. I think it was Willie Nelson. Might be Willie Nelson or Kenny Rogers. I can't remember which one it was. You got to know when to hold them, and you got to know when to fold them. And he's mastered the art of knowing when to hold them and knowing when to fold them. So Martinez versus Estrada, Martinez versus anybody at 115 are definitely some mouth-watering potential matchups. But Gallo Estrada is he's planting the seed and he's watering the plants and letting the boxing world know that this kid has no chance against him when he comes up in weight. And he's just sticking his chest out, letting the young fellow know that he's a top dog at 115. Now, one thing I will say about Gallo Estrada from these quotes is he did say something interesting. He said that he kind of studies his opponents and he gives them basically he takes 2 rounds to work his way into the fight, and by the 3rd or 4th round he implements his plan. He better not do that shit against Chocolatito Gonzalez, because otherwise, if he does that, he's gonna be in some big trouble. So I'm just saying, Gallo, you better come out and establish yourself against Roman Gonzalez, because you can't afford to give away 2 rounds to Chocolatito Gonzalez. It's just not going down like that. So that's what it is on one end of the spectrum with Martinez. Estrada's heard a lot about Martinez wanting to move up to 115 and fight him, and he's just letting his opinions and thoughts be known on that. And I really admire the ambition of this young man right here, this Martinez fellow. He's really a fun fighter to watch. I think he's going to be great for the sport moving forward, in terms of entertainment, in terms of being involved in blockbuster fun fights. He gets a lot of love and reception from the crowd. I had the honor and the privilege to be there ringside when he fought Jay Harris on the undercard of Mikey Garcia versus Jesse Vargas in Frisco, Texas. And I'll tell you, man, the ovation this man received was not that far, not much less than Mikey Garcia received on the night. And mind you, he's 25 years old. You can still say he's very wet behind the ear, even though he's got some good names on his resume. I think Matchroom Boxing, Eddie Reynoso, Zenith Promotions, and all parties involved should really take the time with him, because this is a guy, and I've never said this about any fighter around these weights, but I'm gonna say it for him because I believe this to be true. This is a guy that I think has pay-per-view potential. I know he's on the zone, so technically he can't fight on pay-per-view. But what I'm saying is, I think he has superstar potential because of a lot of factors. Number one, he's Mexican, so he has that built-in fan base already. Mexican fighters always get great support. Number two, he's associated with Canelo, so that gets him a head start. Number three, he's got a crowd-pleasing style. And number four, he's got a lot of great and willing dance partners around that weight, from the Tanakas of the world to the Iokas to Chocolatito Gonzalez to Gallo Estrada to even a Carlos Cuadras if they want to make that fight. There's a lot of willing challengers, and that's half the battle right there when you're building a star fighter. So with that being said, he's also they've also stated, and when I say they, I mean Martinez himself has stated himself that he's already looking forward to fighting Kosi Tanaka, and he's trying to unify with him at 112, and that he's at the top of his hit list. And I'll put the article for you guys in the description. And I think that's a good fight. That's a fight that I think stylistically will make a lot of sense, because when we talk about Tanaka, we're talking about one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the game. We're talking about one of the most intelligent young fighters in the game. We're talking about somebody who has great angles, has great speed, has great boxing IQ at such a young age. And I think it would really put the boxing skills of Martinez, or maybe the lack thereof boxing skills of Martinez, to the test, because while he's a great fighter, while he's able to sit in that phone booth and dig the body and make you pay and really hand out these rib dinners, as I like to call them, I think a fight against someone like a Tanaka would be a whole different challenge within itself, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. So that's the news on Julio Cesar Martinez. He's opened the floodgates and pretty much let the world know that he wants to fight Kosi Tanaka, whether it be a unification fight at 112 or a future fight at 115. We do know Tanaka is going to plan on going the Kazuto Ioka route and trying to, win his 4th world title in a 4th weight class. So expect that soon. And then we had Gallo Estrada pretty much just saying, like, look, this kid is good, but he's not beating me. He's too hittable and he's too limited. Essentially, that's what he's saying. So, this Martinez kid, he's very ambitious. I think he's got a good, ambitious head on his shoulders, and I think he'll be somebody that we'll have to keep our eye on as his career progresses here on True School Sports. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Take the time to subscribe. But like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.